Good morning, all students and teachers. Today, all Australians pay our respect to all men and women who paid the ultimate sacrifice for our freedom that we have today. Today, we recognise the characteristics of courage, valour, mateship, spirit and sacrifice for all of our servicemen and women. We welcome the Australian Air Force cadets from the 402 Squadron, forming a catapult party led by Acting Flight Commander, Leading Cadet Broomhall.
Catapult party! Catapult party! Time! Push! Catapult party outwards! Come! Catapult party! Press on! Arms!
Can I ask everybody to stand for the national anthem? Thank you.
Australians, all let us rejoice, for we are one and free. We've golden soil and wealth for toil, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, all beauty rich and rare. In history's page, let every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains that let us sing, advance Australia fair. Beneath the radiant Southern Cross, we'll toil with hearts and hands to make this commonwealth of ours renowned of all the lands. For those who've come across the seas, we've boundless plains to share. With courage let us all combine to advance Australia fair. In joyful strains that let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Thank you. Can everyone please be seated? Years have passed since the armistice that ended World War I, the war to end all wars. Since that time, conflicts have continued to rage around the globe, but we still hold fast to the idea that peace is possible, and we continue to work towards that goal. Remembrance Day in Australia commemorates the noble sacrifices of armed services and civilians during times of war. At the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, 1 minute of silence is observed across the country to mark the end of the hostilities on the Western Front during World War I, after 4 years of warfare. The moment in 1918 when hostilities ceased was originally named Armistice Day, becoming a time when all Allied nations honoured the brave sacrifices made for all who had fought and lost their lives during the First World War. At the end of the Second World War, the Australian and British governments renamed November the 11th Remembrance Day to mark and remember all who had fallen in times of war. The ritual of observing 1 minute of silence was first proposed by Australian journalist Edward Honey in 1918 and continues to be universally practiced on Remembrance Day each year. Unlike Anzac Day, Remembrance Day is not a public holiday in Australia, but services are held at 11 a.m. at war memorials and cenotaphs in suburbs and towns across the country. Traditionally, the last post is sounded by a bugler, followed by 1 minute of silence. After the minute of silence, flags are raised from half-mast to head-mast as the rouse is played. Remembrance Day is observed across the world in the United Kingdom, Canada, France, South Africa, the United States of America, Bermuda, Ireland and New Zealand, as well as in Australia. Men and women in Australia and around the world have made sacrifices. Many have given their lives. Yet the freedom we enjoy was secured at a price, and today we pay our respect to them. Over the 4 years of fighting, more than 330,000 Australians served overseas, with more than 60,000 paying the ultimate sacrifice with their life.
Hi, I'm Emma Nima, Assistant Principal for Inclusion. I'm going to read a poem today. Please wear a poppy. Please wear a poppy, the lady said, and held one forth, but I shook my head. Then I stopped and watched as she offered them there, and her face was old and lined with care. But beneath the scars the years had made, there remained a little smile that refused to fade. A boy came whistling down the street, bouncing along on carefree feet. His smile was full of joy and fun. "Lady," said he, "may I have one?" When she pinned it on, he turned to say, "Why do we wear a poppy today?" The lady smiled in her wistful way and answered, "This is Remembrance Day, and the poppy is there, the symbol for the gallant men who died in war. And because they did, you and I are free. That's why we wear a poppy, you see." I had a boy about your size, with golden hair and big blue eyes. He loved to play and jump and shout. Free as a bird, he would race about. As the years went by, he learned and grew and became a man, as you will too. He was fine and strong with a boyish smile, but he seemed with us such a little while. When war broke out and he went away, I still remember that day when he smiled at me and said, "Goodbye, I'll be back soon, Mum. Please don't cry." But the war went on and he had to stay, and all I could do was wait and pray. His letters told of awful fight. I can see it still in my dreams at night, and with tanks and guns and cruel barbed wire, and the mines and bullets, the bombs and fire, till at last, the war was won, and that's why we wear a poppy, son. The small boy turned as if to go, then said, "Thanks, lady, I'm glad to know." That sure did sound an awful fight, but your son, he come back all right? A tear rolled down each faded cheek. She shook her head, but didn't speak. I slunk away, sort of shame. And if you were me, you've done the same. For our thanks in giving is oft delayed. Thought our freedom was bought and thousands paid. And so when you see a poppy worn, let us reflect on the burden borne by those who gave their very all when asked to answer their country's call. That we at home in peace might live, then we wear a poppy, remember and give.
Can I ask everyone to please stand for the ode to be read by Mr. Taggart and remain standing for the last post to be played by Mr. Harvey on the bugle. This will be followed by a minute's silence. The flags will then be raised to full mast during the playing of the rouse. I will then inform students when you can sit down. Thank you.
They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them, lest we forget.
Lest we forget. Thank you, everyone. Please be seated as the catafalque party is dismissed.
Catafalque party aids hand! Shun! Catafalque party and words! Tongue! Catafalque party does! Best!
Thank you to all students and staff for your time and respect today. Thank you.
We need to remember, we need to hold on to all of those memories of those who are gone, lest we forget the role of honor and what they sacrificed in the end. So remember the scarlet flower, the little red poppy that never died on the battlefields, like the memories of all our countrymen. We wear them close to our hearts, like the little red poppy. We need to remember is our salute to the cause for freedom, and that we must belong, lest we forget a moment of silence and turn our backs on time. So remember the scarlet flower, the little red poppy that never died on the battlefields, like the memories of all our countrymen. We wear them close to our hearts, like the little red poppy. We wear them close to our hearts, like the little red poppy. We need to remember. We need to hold.